Well, on any given day, Sandra Schmirler is quite simply, and in my opinion, the best curler in the world, and has the Olympic gold and world titles to prove it. Tonight, her Regina rink is in the running for Outstanding Female Team at the Canadian Sports Awards in Toronto, and she joins us now on First Up. Thanks for being here.
Oh, no problem. It's great.
Now, I want to ask you about your chances tonight. Do you think you're going to be more like Titanic or the full Monty?
Well, it doesn't really matter. Just to be nominated and be in the final three is a real honor, and certainly we'd love to win it. It's our third time being up for the award, but if we don't, there's always next year.
It has been an unprecedented year for you, I think, in many ways. In many ways, you won the Grand Slam of curling, and not necessarily in a calendar year, but I was looking back, and you won Olympic gold, the Scott Tournament of Hearts, the World Championships, and not only had to deal with motherhood as well. No one has ever done that before. How do you manage to put all this in perspective?
Well, it's kind of a juggling act. We haven't dropped any balls yet, and that's good. But it's been interesting, it's been challenging, it's been fun, but at times you just have to sit back and just be in awe of what the team has done. It's just been an incredible run, and we're enjoying every minute of it.
How difficult is it to sit back when the momentum continues to build around you?
It's not that tough. You just try and do the best you can, and like I say, try and prioritize the things that come your way. But when you're sitting there feeding your child and the phone is just ringing off the hook, and the opportunities are just coming every day, and it's interesting every day because it's just new and exciting, and the team is really enjoying it.
It's a very exciting time for curling in general, too. There has been an evolution from the corn broom era right through to the no-guard zone, and the free guard zone. And I want to ask you how you have managed to adapt through that period of change.
Well, we've been really lucky. When the free guard zone first came into place, we were one of the first teams that got to play internationally and was very successful at that. And I think what's happened is that the other teams have caught up to us.
Yeah.
There were a few years there where we were dominating because we were really good at the free guard zone, and the other teams were just learning. But now I think it's pretty even across the country in the women's field, and a lot of the games played in your head, and that's where you win at a lot of the games, and that's, I think, another strength of our team.
You are one of the more strategical teams, then, in the world, in your opinion?
Well, I think so. I think we have a really strong base strategy-wise. We do a lot of talking. If people have watched the games, sometimes they get sick of us talking so much about what we're going to do, but we go through every possible option, and I think that's one of the strengths of our team is the communication between the four of us.
And the lingo. I don't know how you guys managed to do it. I would say you are unofficially bilingual because you not only speak English, but it's like I caught a hair on the hog line, and it caught soft ice, and it tapped up for two into the forefoot, and that allowed us to lose the hammer in the seventh. Where did all this lingo come from? How have you managed to adapt to that?
I think it comes from listening to other teams, and you think that, well, that's kind of a neat term, let's use that. And a lot of times it just explains what you're trying to do. And as a team grows and develops, and you play longer with a team, and we've been together since '91, you kind of have your own little pet explanations for certain situations, and once you say that, everybody knows, and that is also a strength of the various teams. If you stick together long enough, you'll learn the lingo that is good for everybody.
The other skip is always standing by you guys when you're discussing things around the house, though. Has there ever been an inclination to perhaps steal the strategy?
You watch a lot of tapes, and you try and get an indication of what the other teams are doing, but you try and really build on your strengths and not worry too much about what the other teams. There's a few little things that you might want to know about a team, you know, what they do in certain situations, but we really try and work on the strengths that our team has.
One of the strengths has been your unprecedented run at the World Championships. Now suddenly Kathy Borst is heading there. What kind of pitfalls is she going to have to avoid in what many people consider is a very different game?
Probably the biggest thing they're going to have to adjust to is the 4-rock free guard zone. It's different in Canada. In Canada, we play the 3-rock free guard zone. At the world level, international level, you play the 4-rock free guard zone. That's a huge difference. Kathy Borst's team is strong, and they'll get leads on teams. They'll get up in games, and what they'll have to do is try and defend. And in the 4-rock rule, that's really, really tough. So that's the biggest adjustment. Plus, you know, the different language, and the first time we went to the Worlds, you feel that the other teams don't know you because you've never played on that stage before, and it's a bit intimidating. Those are a couple of things they'll have to deal with.
How much are you going to miss that stage?
This year, probably not that much. It was an incredible opportunity for us to go to the Olympic Games, and to win was just a dream. But unfortunately, we had to come back, you know, a week later and play at the Scott Tournament of Hearts right in Regina. That was really tough for the team. at this point in time, we're really looking forward to sitting back and watching somebody else.
Yeah, I guess it is somewhat anticlimactic, considering your profile. I'm sure everywhere you go, people are just, Sandra this, Sandra that. Hi, you know, did you bring the medal with you?
Yeah, did you bring the medal? That's the biggest question. Yeah, it's not a piece of jewelry you put on in the morning and take off at night, but it is exciting time. But I think for us, not winning the Scott Tournament of Hearts and going to the Worlds this year was probably a bonus. Because not only do you have to go and play at the Worlds, which wouldn't be so bad, but you have to practice for a week or a month and a half to get ready. And to find the time to do that with the young families and all the Olympic opportunities that are coming our way would have been really tough. So I think it was a blessing in disguise.
Well, listen, thanks for taking the time out to join us tonight. Good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
And so nice to see you again.
Thanks.
All right, let's go over to Loretta.